Good day, guys, and welcome back to your favorite channel of your chubby buddy. And so, then with my fenders, rear fenders, they come out to about maybe right about here. So with the matching roll pin to it, it's going to have more of a, I don't know, say between a 34 and 46 kind of back portion, but with that, and then with the way the bubbled roof is, it'll kind of go with the flow of it. It's not going to be perfect, but it should be a damn close match to what it's supposed to be. So that's what I'm after. I'm just replicating what's supposed to be there. And the reason why it's made like that is because the guy put a, you see it right up over there, he used a square body trunk lid from a Cadillac, and well, anything will look better than that. So it's getting there, little by little. I'm making her happen, and so it's going to take some time, but this is as far back as I can get this to go, or it's going to start making some funny shit happen to these guys here. So that's all I only got that much room for that much more, and then this will start buckling and looking like shit. Then it looks like a camelback. So yeah, I wanted to poke in and show you guys a little bit improvements that I'm making. Haven't been doing too good, but I'm trying. I've had to take it easy for a while. I was severely dehydrated. My blood was getting pretty thick, and even being on blood thinners, and then when they gave me IV fluids, I started to get really loopy and near blacking out, and so I started to feel a little more stable now, and now I'm back out here. It's not as hot as it was. I started to over push myself, and now paying the consequences for it. And so we're getting there, little by little. And to show a little bit more development of the rear trunk lid, we are going to be approximately somewhere like that. So she'll come down around almost a little bit of an angle, so she swoops down a little bit here, and same thing over here on that side, and we'll have a trunk lid. But that's what we're working on. Ooh, don't you cut my leg, you shithead. And so that's what I'm working on this bad boy. As you can see how she's got a nice transition right there. It's not too flat, but she slowly rolls off and comes down. Same thing here until you get to that spot. But then she rolls back down, bam. But I gotta weld all that up. Once I get it good, she'll be good. But you can see she's nice and straight all the way across with the frame. And then you can see that belly pin, roll pin, how that's going to play a role is right up over top of this. That son of a bitch, I swear. So anyway, we're getting a little bit closer. Now that I pulled out the running board, the wheel well, and I made my template, it's a little bit off, but we'll be fine. We can work with this. So I needed a piece that was actually longer than 4 foot. I didn't take it into consideration with the wheel well, so it kind of messed me up. So now we got it in the center, so I transferred it to my sheet metal. I'm going to have to add it to the back. So yeah, little boo-boo, but I got plenty left over to stitch it in. Plug weld. So at the current moment, it ain't looking so pretty because it's in 2D, which is 2-dimensional. This is 3-dimensional, this is 2-dimensional. And you can see the reason why. See how she's got a nice pretty curve all the way down? That sheet metal is 2-dimensional, straight, flat. So, when we roll that, I ain't got a rolling machine. I got my big fat legs. I'll just work it, tweak it until she fits the contour of this, and then we'll have it the shape of it this way. But then she straightens up a little bit back here, but then she comes into a dive like this. So then we kind of got to roll and twist, so she gets that nice pretty curve and taper off down across the back. The fender is actually supposed to be sitting probably about out to here or more. It's just sitting on there, center block, jack stand, just so I can see dimension. And so, yeah, I made this a little too tall, so she'll get shaved down, rolled over top, and then tack welded. And then when you tap it down, you get it all down, the metal will start to stretch from the heat and from hammering. It'll be like a stretcher. So she'll start to fit the contour of that roundness this way, or over that pipe. So it kind of be like a roller, but a manual roller. And then a butt weld, which means clamp it down to this, put a tack weld out here, and then put another tack weld, and then give it light hammers down it so it fits the contour of this rounded edge going down. And then you cut into it a little bit and then push in, give it a little tack weld, a little cut, tack weld, a little more cut, tack weld, a little more cut, tack weld, until you're all the way down and fully connected to this. Then you go back in between each one, then let it cool, go back in between each one, and that way that metal won't distort on you. And I'm sorry, but that fan has to be on. I can't handle this direct sunlight. But I wanted to get more into this so I can show you guys some overall progress. And so I'm doing the mock-up stage of the rear quarter panel. And well, she ain't got no body lines that's coming back here that I wanted. She's got that nice pretty one all the way from there and then dead end here. So she's probably not going to have none. If anything, when it's all smooth, then I'll paint the line if I have to. I don't have a bead roller. But once that's on there, that's it. I'm done. So, but I think I got her contoured across that fender pretty well. And yeah, I need to put a little piece in there and weld it in, but it'll be fine. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so we almost got what we want and the way we want it. It's a little bit more animated, a little bit more three-dimensional. Still needs a lot of work, but you can kind of see almost what I'm after. How it rolls right with the body here down. So you can see there she's rolling almost with it. And then she's going to be straight at the top, but she's going to be puffed out a little bit running down into the fender. And then she's going to curve down under like this. So let me show you from the back side here. So she's looking pretty damn close. You can see there up in the front it's more this way, but when you look here towards the back it's more flat. So I need to puff it out in the center and the back and then finish rolling it this way and roll it this way. Then she'll look good. So I've done all I could do for the day. This sun is cooking me. That damn thing hurt there. Drying me out like a slail, like a slug. I'm gonna put some cuts here, and then I'm gonna roll it down, make it easier to roll, and then tack weld across here. But I got to finish tack welding all those little slits to strengthen this up. And then when I put this one, then this side will become strong again. It'll be just as strong as this is right here, and this will become part of this. So that's what I'm working on. It's going to take a little bit, but I will eventually get it. So what I may have to end up doing is, for this to maintain its shape, is cut me some pieces that will be the same contour as this, right? And then lay it on the inside of here this way, so it pushes up against here and causes it to flare out the way it's supposed to. And I can easily do that by get my favorite tool here. Takes 2 hands to operate, so hold on. So now, if I transfer that over to there, then, well, you know what I mean, I gotta do it from the inside. I'm tired and I'm exhausted. I'm like that. So, do it from the inside so you have, well, you actually got it right here. So what you do here transfers out here. So now you got an inner and an outer. I mean, well, you know what I mean. See there? So now you know the contour. Transfer it to there, and then weld it in like this. So it pushes this metal out to where it'll be the same contour as this, all the way out. So that's what I'm working on. And so I've been playing around with this rear quarter paint on this rear fender and the running board. So we're getting pretty damn close to what we're looking for here. If you look down the side here, she's fitting the contour. Never mind what's right there. That's sheet metal up there in the front. I'm talking about what's back in here. This whole piece right here. So she needs to be butt welded to meet the surface area of the original body. But she, I must say, is looking pretty damn close to a home run of what I'm looking for. Then I can make a roll pan here, seal it and cap that off. She'll look fine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the back of it out to here, past down into here, and then I'll cap it from this side and wrap it around here so it caps off this. And so I must say that's pretty good for backyard fabrication. From the side she doesn't look too bad. So needs to be pushed this way a little bit more. But what's causing this problem here is because this right here is sticking out. So I got to take that body mount off, pick the body up, shove that in there where it's supposed to be. Then it'll take that binding sensation out of here. Because right now it's making the fender all twist and having a problem. So if I cut and butt weld here, this will then become part of this, and then this will be out to here, and this will be tacked down on top of that pipe. But as you can see, she's holding a pretty good line right across there, across that fender. So we're getting pretty damn close to what we're looking for. And so we're figuring it out little by little. The piece that I cut out of here, that's going to be on the inside to make my wheel well. So I have something to bolt to. Then she'll be fine. But I must say that it's coming along pretty good. I don't think you can get any better than that from backyard, you know, fabrication. Because basically, I'm just using what you see here. You see that? That's all the tools I got to make this happen. Okay? Nothing special, nothing fancy. Just a little bit of common know-how, and you can pretty much put your mind at ease and make anything happen. So, I bent these over. This will get pushed out to beat the surface area there, and then come around, and each one of these will get tacked in place. Then I'll come here and lay a piece of welding rod or some real thin rebar. That way this will sit past here to keep the shape of this, and then tack weld this to the rebar just momentarily so I can massage this area. This has got a flat spot right here. She needs to be more tapered and more of a rounded edge. So you can almost see it right here. Right to here, there's a flat spot. So once I get it all so where it's solid, I can take my hand and press into that and massage that to be a much smoother transition. And this is the damage that the top of your head would do when it's sweaty. This is what will happen if you put your fingers when they're sweaty. So your sweat will cause all this. Because look over there, she's fine. But you can see spots where I put my fingers. Everywhere my fingers were. Everywhere I handled it with sweaty hands. You can see where it rusted it. But from every angle, I say we're pretty damn close. Yeah, I'm liking that. So, anything's better. So if anyone wants to look at that stupid shit, okay, we can go back in the past and revolve ourselves around a whole bunch of ugly square body on a round body. If anything, that would serve a purpose as a trunk lid, but it's not long enough. So anything's better than that. Now, look at this. And I'm doing it all handmade. Nothing store-bought. Just buy the sheet metal, fabricate, and make it happen. So over here, you'll probably see that flat spot a little bit better. So you can see right here where that flat spot is. But it's rounded where I need it. So I get rid of that flat spot. Should be fine. So that's where we're at right with this right about now. And so yeah, we're getting it. Little by little. I knew this was going to be a big job. Okay, I knew what to expect. I knew this is what it was going to be. But overall, in the end, I get to brag that, hey, I made something look better. I improved the look of it. Not that I built a Model A Ford, but I made it look better than what it did. So far as the body mounts go, well, it got knocked over, so that's pretty much, 3/16 inch thick. I don't think you're going to mess that up. And so you can see down there, that's just held on by a pair of vice grips. So that's the thickness of the steel that I'm using for the corners. Of course, doesn't look like I'm going to have to trim any of it. So it looks fine. And then my floor pan, so framing it out. And then I can make my floor pan Recess my gas tank here. Leave my shock tires exposed so I can change them if I have to. And yeah, I must say she's coming along pretty good compared to what it was and to what she is now. She's starting to look more and more like a car every day. Yay, yay. Once I get this completed, then she'll look better. Then I can start getting back to working up there in the front. So she's nice and solid for the moment. Even though it ain't got body mounts, she's becoming more solid because she's becoming more and more of a car. So I'm becoming happy about it. I'm enjoying it. That she's looking more like a car every day. And I must say, they look pretty damn good. And then when I get the front fender mounted up there in the front, that should be easy. That doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem. But yeah, I can vision everything, how it's going to go together. And I have to go with a much wider tire. These fenders have been modified, as you can see. Somebody cut them in half and then they welded this big fat piece of sheet metal there, which is I'm okay with. I'm going to clean it up, make it good, fix the rust holes, get rid of the Bondo, hammer and chisel it out, and get the dent knocked out of there, and then I'll skim coat it. Then I'll weld this in real good, and then it'll actually be steel instead of fiberglass and Bondo kit from hell. Well, you can see the line where the two pieces of sheet metal meet, where this is overlapped here. But I'm going to clean that up. She'll look fine when it's done. Just a little bit more, guys. So it goes to prove that you can do anything you want as long as you put your mind to it. So I figured this time around I'd catch you all with a couple videos instead of just one a day. So that's what I've been working on. Still a little bit under the weather, but I'm still pulling it together. And so, yeah, woohoo. I'm getting my projects done. They're getting better and they're looking better every day. So as long as the weather is pending and as long as it's good, I can keep on chipping away at it until I get a complete Model A and a complete 27T bucket. Then I can finally start taking my hard-earned fruit of labor and start showing it off at the car shows. Woohoo! I'll be happy then. Yes, sir. So that'll make us 2 body mounts here, 2 right in front of the wheel well, 2 more in the foot area. So we'll have a total of 6 body mounts holding that thing on there, and it should not go nowhere. And then we got the radiator we got to get. We got some hoses to get. We got all the belts, a full complete drive line. I need to finish welding up the drive shaft. Then I need to mount that. Get some transmission lines, get the brake lines reconnected and swapped out, get the steering column done. And I decided to ditch the old floor pan. That's just, it's too boogered up. So I'm actually going to get sheet metal, cut it, fit the shape in there so it looks good. Just piecing it together with scrap, it just really didn't turn out well. It's not to my liking. So cheap as that sheet metal was, I'd rather get me 2, well, come on, you stupid bee, get out of my face. All this fucking room out here and they want to fly right in your fucking ear hole. So anyways, cheap as that 4x4, I think it was 20-inch I mean, not 20 inch, 20 gauge, no, 16 gauge steel. For the price of that, I couldn't argue it. So I'd rather just go ahead and get me one of them. That'll fit the 4x4. I would say a 8x4. That's what I want. 8x4, so I can cover the front of that floor, and then work it out towards this way to make me a trunk pan and fit it in wherever else I need it. And then give me another one to cover this whole entire back end. I'm going to just totally cover it. Then when I'm ready, I'm hoping to find an actual trunk lid, so I ain't got to make one from scratch, and then I'll just build around it. That would be more ideal. But she's going to have a nice big old fat look in her booty. She's going to have a big old fat pooper. So she'll look great. Can't wait until she's finished. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's little by little, but progress. That's what counts. I'm getting her done. Little by little. And eventually, she'll be a fully functional car. So we're talking at least 1 year into this. The whole entire thing. From the time I got the body to the time I got the frame, the motor, the transmission, to the mounting it and putting it together. Y'all may want to go back and watch those videos. They were pretty cool. So for those that don't know, this is a 94 GMC Jimmy frame that I have successfully shown that I've mounted a modified Model A Ford, a 1931, onto this frame, and still in progress. So eventually she will be finished and we will be happy, and we'll be able to see how she looks in the end process. So much as I would like to just merge a whole entire video into one segment, I don't have the available storage space for that. So then with the internet, I ain't gonna lie, T-Mobile's too slow. It would take me a whole week for that to upload, and then it messes up. You gotta try again, and then you're not making videos. You're not getting your videos up. So I apologize to my viewers. That's the way it is. When you're in a big country, you don't get that luxury, 5G service to where you can just blister everything at lightning speed. But what pisses me off is, back when we had the Galaxy S1, there was lightning speed internet service like I'd never believed. I mean, I'm talking 100 gigs that quick. It was like 1 kilobyte. I'd never thought in a million years we would have speed that fast. But today's day and age, I mean, we're talking many of years later. Damn near, well, actually, I would say 12 years later, we are having much slower speeds, which I don't understand. I pay out the yang for it. But anyways, not a rant. I promised you from the beginning, it's not going to be an exact duplicate, but it will be a well-presented. For those that know what Model A's look like, knows that that's not exactly. It's too big, it's too long, too wide, but it's what's fitting the contour of the frame, the vehicle, because what part of this is perfect Model A? So don't think that I'm cutting and butchering up a perfect Model A Ford. That's not what I did. I'm picking up where someone else left off at, because they obviously had different plans. And so, as you can see, she's looking pretty well in here. And so now I need to make some reinforcements in here for the steering and for the foot area, so that way for collision support we ain't got no issues. And as you can tell, I think I'm coming along pretty well. We got a brake booster inside a 31 Model A. Woohoo. Yeah, buddy. And then I'll have to revisit these doors and play with these doors and make sure to get mine back up again, because I'm losing my gap, and I'm going to have to do something here. I think because the door's sagging. So I'll eventually get it together. But I may have to egg out the hole in the back body mounts. Get this thing to fold in a little bit tighter. But that's where ratchet straps help out a lot. And then I'll have to revisit the hood and make sure that my foot don't hit that switch again and burn holes through my hood. So I'm going to re-weld it, and then I'm going to line it with some additional sheet metal and put some reinforcements in there. And that's what I'm hoping to use that piece right there for this guy, to reinforce the inside of the hood so she don't flex. And you damn bee, you little fucker, you get away from me. I don't need you stinging me right now. And so, well, I'm always trying to bring you guys new and fresh content and new material and some updates, but there's times I just can't do it. Trying to get out the door, I got too many things going on. I got a big, huge thing getting ready to take place, which I'll save for last. Got a huge surprise coming my way, and won't know for sure until probably about another 2 weeks from today's date. And so things are going to really take off from there. So keep your fingers crossed. Keep me in your prayers. Hopefully it works out. So then I could be a little more persistent with stuff. So, as I'm sure you can tell what's on today's agenda, out with the old and in with the new. And boy, y'all gonna love this. Shoo! I'm gonna tell you, my Lord's been good to me here lately. So, you know, it occurred to me, I ain't lucky. I don't get lucky. I'm counting my blessings. Since I've been counting my blessings, a lot more better things have been happening for me here. So I lost quite a bit of footage. And also, haven't been up here for a while, but I'm making do. So you missed quite a bit. So not only did we get quarter panel somewhat where it's supposed to be, what it's going to be, it's not an exact duplicate. It is not a $900 piece. It's just a flat piece of sheet metal. And so I dug out the rear fender and the running board. And this is where I really wanted to make do. And as you can see here, a nice big 3-foot tall Mickey Thompson with a set of weld wheels. These are a little too skinny. These are only 4.5. A little too skinny for everything I got up here. I want to go with at least a set of 9s or 10s. But she's some big boy tires. And I mean, she is big boy. From inside there, the outside here fills in all that. That's what I wanted. Now they're slicks for drag strip, which they're okay for car show, but okay for me to do the mock-up because that's about the size diameter of tires I need and the width. So I could continue the rest of the build here. So basically it's just flat piece of sheet metal that you can see how much I've been handling it, because it done rusted it all up. You can see my 2 head prints right there. Rusting it on my head to put it in the truck. And so I got it almost in the area where I need it. But you can see we're pinching a little too tight here, but that's because of this right here. So once that gets into place, then I can bring this up to be in place, put this in where it needs to be, and then that'll open it up more. And so I got it to fit the contour of the vehicle, you know, this way down the side, and then she rolls down underneath pretty nice. But it's loosely sitting on there, actually with some duct tape. So as I tack it, I'm going to set it in place. I already got my guideline of how I'm going to get it to the fender, and then I'm going to leave my sheet metal this way so the fender can bolt up underneath. And so that's what I got so far. I say I'm looking pretty damn well. I mean, she's sitting the way I want it. The tires are fat as I want it, and they don't really come out past the wheel well that much, just the outside surface area. She hugs in there just fine. So what I like. Old school, baby. So you can see the rest that I gotta get done. Got quite a bit in there, but I wanted to start getting this caught up. So you can see she's carrying the contour in the shape that I'm somewhat after. The fender is sticking up a little bit over here because I only got it hooked up on bricks, center blocks. But she's doing it for now. It's in the ballpark. So I'm going to start tack welding, butt welding here, so that rear quarter panel don't move. I got it where I need it. I got it cut what I need. And then I want to close up that gap, take the body mount out, jack the body up, shove that in, put a hole through it so she can get in there below the door. And then it should start looking more formed. And it'll bring in that fender in some more, roughly about 3 inches. So that tire may be exposed a little bit more, but not that much. So hang tight. I'm going to start tack welding. I only got 2 hands. I can't hold the phone and tack weld and do all that at the same time. So hang tight. I'll be right back. Alright, so it's not the best of the best, but I tell you what, it's better than what the shit was there. So top of the fender is sitting up here like this a little bit, fine. But you see how I'm doing that side panel? She's not exactly flat. It's rounded this way, then it comes back here like this, down the angle, straight down here in the back. That's what I'm trying to project. Mind you, I don't have the tools of the trade to do it. What you see around here on the ground, that's what I have. Okay? That's what I have to be doing this. Didn't have a hammer, so I was using a pipe wrench. And then I found a hammer, and now I started working on it. But as you can see, she's starting to take the shape of it. I'm closing up the gap more. Now once I fix this gap right here, once I fix that area, then that'll pull that fender out where it's supposed to be, and then she'll be very much the same height all the way around. So I had to go back, recut across here, you know, in this area, so the fender can come forward more. Then I closed up my gap here. I'll have to put a little piece up in there to fabricate that. This here still needs to go in underneath the body. We're sticking out a little too far, but we're getting there. That's the cool part. And so we look down the side of it. I must say that's pretty good. You see how she's tucking around just fine. So you can see there, and then she goes up and down and goes down. And then the fender is just a little bit square with that, but it's going to come in more. But I say that's pretty damn close and pretty spot on. And so now I got me a template, but this is going to be the inside of the wheel well part of it. So that'll go up in here, up against this piece. And then we're going to fill it in. I'm going to just make it over like that and then run me a piece all the way across. And that's what's going to tie into here to keep the main, shape of it going this way so it puffs out. Once this gets solid, then I can start forming all this here, because this is semi-flat right here across this. So I need to get this portion to bulge out some, kind of like what I did up here. You see how she's holding a nice good shape, but when you get back in here, she's flat. So I need to get that rounded. But I need to anchor it here, put a couple tack welds, get this secured so she don't lose shape, and then build my inner wheel well. And then the wheel well will have something to bolt into or fasten to. And then I got a lot of fill work to do in here as far as that goes. But we're starting to take shape of what appears to be a Model A. Not exactly, not perfect, but hey, better than what it was. And for the rear motor mount, I'm using some pretty thick shit here. That's a 3/16 thick, which is a lot thicker than what the damn frame is. So if it's thicker than that frame, then it should be able to hold it. And so I have to use my generator to operate my welder. I must say that we're coming along just fine here. So I think before I go any further, I'm going to take this fender off, separate that running board, and start repairing it. Once I can get it in better shape, then it won't be as flimsy and it won't be out of shape and throwing my dimensions off. Somebody hand bugger rigged this, so I mean there's a lot of rust in it, and I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to weld too much of it because it's just going to keep blowing out. So at this point, looks like there's going to be a lot of fiberglass and reinforcement. And so unless another set of fenders come along that's in better shape, these look like something I'm going to have to work with. So we'll see what happens. But so far, I'd say that's pretty damn good. I'll stand back here so y'all can see it all in one picture here. So she's making a hell of a turnaround. Yes, sir, she is. It's hard to believe that this came here in parts. And I'm just slowly getting her together. It's hard to believe I got it this far together. Wow. I remember every single part where it came from and how much and what it took to put it together. That's the cool part. Yes, sir. So I appreciate y'all stopping in and watching. Sorry y'all missed a lot of the video of the fabrication here, but I'll show it for when I do the other side. But there's going to be some body work that's going to need to be done. There are some flat spots, and really had to mess with it a lot right here where they made the homemade wheel well. This is right where they made the wheel well at. That's how big they wanted it and how low they wanted it to the ground. So when it's done, it should be a nice comfortable two-seater. And I'll be taking the slicks off and putting the actual tread tires on there, and then she'll be able to become a daily driver. So yeah, how cool is that? She'll look like she's for the track, but she'll be made for driving to the car shows. Yes, sir. So if I got a little bit of paint, I'll just shoot a little bit on my weld so it don't rust up too easy. So yeah, y'all come on back and watch me again sometime. Sorry for the short video, but what can you say? However, I do have pictures of it, so I can just flash that up here in the video now and then while I'm talking. And so there's a lot more work to be done, that's for sure. Boy, do I have a lot of work. So yeah, I appreciate y'all stopping in and watching. Y'all come on back and watch me again. Hit like and subscribe if you like my channel. And hope to get you more content the next time. And remember, get out, do something every day. You'll be glad you did. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.